This is Run Rabbit Run for the Team Project and Development Log module. Run Rabbit Run has you play as a young boy during the Blitz era of World War II. The protagonist of the game has to explore an increasingly destroyed London city while providing for his mother and sister as they try to survive the harsh realities of the war at home. It is a 2.5D game focused on stealth and exploration as opposed to committing acts of violence yourself. Your main mechanics for defense are to hide from enemies and convince your way out of difficult situations. The intended audience of this game will be more mature than your standard fare due to the themes that are present within this game, which are designed to make the player feel uncomfortable in places. We wanted to focus predominantly on environmental storytelling and implication as opposed to outright spectacle. The strong visual aesthetic of this game would be its monochromatic color palette, with very spare usage of color. All of the assets that I have created are rendered in full color when presented in Engine, and the image would be desaturated into grayscale. In the game, I chose to use the typeface Chandler 42 as it evokes feelings of discomfort and feels reminiscent of a bygone era. Underneath are two logos that I developed, a text-based one and one that could be utilized on the PlayStation Store, Xbox, or Steam. The initial scope of this project was far wider than either me or Deacon could actually deliver on. Now, looking at this plan, it is clear that our ambitions were rather large to begin with, and as time progressed, we worked on the elements that we felt were most important. For me, it was asset creation, and for Deacon, he focused on gameplay elements. These three slides are taken from Deacon's presentation, which showcase lighting, a level blockout, and the crouch mechanic. Deacon developed an AI system where the AI would patrol, and if the enemy were to see you, they would chase, and if they were to catch you, it would result in a fail state. This animation I developed is a showcase of the assets I developed in Maya and textured in Substance Painter. Later in this presentation there are a deeper dive into the assets. I provided a voiceover narration for the animation, which would be used in a cutscene detailing the first mission Rabbit would go on for one of the narrative's main supporting cast. I wanted to juxtapose the visuals with the voiceover narration from this character, making the audience inherently distrust them. This letter is a key item that I want Rabbit to carry through the course of his game that is from his father. And as certain events take place in the game, he would sit and reread the letter each time it becomes more stained with the actions of the game. The propaganda posters I developed are to teach the player game mechanics in a non-intrusive manner. I used these reference images to understand what the concerns of the times were and to emulate their style to some degree, such as their usage of typography and iconography, such as Hitler's face. The flashlight item would be a permanent fixture in Rabbit's inventory to illuminate dark areas to help you proceed. I took a photo of a real boot knife. To model in game, I added a little visual flair with the Ace of Spades, as it implies there is a little character given to Rabbit's father, who gave him the knife as a boy. This short video shows how the lighting was set up in the environment, with 2 lights on the exterior allowing light to filter through the blinds, with 1 large, overwhelming light in the center. I took these photos at a local train station to add to image planes outside of the windows to convince the player the environment is larger than it appears. These 2 screenshots are from the rendered product, which show environmental detail and how the lighting affects the scene. I think that we did rather well with this project considering the limitations of our team size and other compounding factors. I think if we had a more reasonable scope in the beginning, we could have achieved a little more with this project, but ambition shrunk as the deadlines advanced. I believe that both of our inputs created a cohesive project, and with some more development time and assistance, we could develop this idea further. I am satisfied with what we've done, and I hope that one day we can develop this idea a little further, as I feel it's fertile ground to create a unique gameplay experience.